it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you guys the perfect palette tag, and I was tagged by my friend Meg here on YouTube. She actually tagged me in the perfect palette tag and the blush tag, so you will see both of those videos going up this week, but I will leave a link down below to her channel because she is just lovely. So she did this tag quite a while ago and I just got really busy and never got around to it. So thanks for tagging me, Meg, and I'm finally doing this. But this is going to be the perfect palette tag where there's a total of 10 questions about different scenarios and questions, and I will be telling you guys which ones are my perfect palette. So the first question is the palette for the best packaging, and I have to give that award to the Kat Von D Me Vita Loca palette. And so this came out 2015 holiday season. Super cool packaging. Look how it's like holographic and like the colors are like rainbow. It's super cool. And on the back you actually get to see the entire palette the way it looks exactly. So that is how it exactly looks. I love that. And then it's just super cool packaging. You can feel it. It's lifted and upraised. So cool, beautiful. Definitely my favorite packaging I have, even though it's huge and bulky. Definitely the coolest palette that I have in my collection. So I love this one. The next, I don't know where to put these. The next one is Best Color Payoff, and I have to give that award to a little tiny palette. And this is my Natasha Genoa Eyeshadow palette number 2, and I love this. This is such beautiful like rose gold purple colors. I did a review and swatches on my channel. Let me just swatch again. I'm not like moving my finger around. I'm just simply like pressing it in the pan, and look how stunning these colors are. Literally wasn't even swirling my hands around, just literally like stamping it almost, just like that. That's it. And so look how gorgeous those colors are. I love them. They're just like beautiful foiled metallic, soft, buttery. I love them. These are seriously like beautiful colors. I love them. The most foiled, like metallic-y, wet feeling, buttery, smooth, velvety eyeshadows ever. I love them to death. So those 5 eyeshadows are definitely like the best color payoff. Love them. That was a really hard one to choose from because there's a lot of really good palettes. I really wanted to pick the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette, but then the matte shadows in there aren't like the most pigmented ones in the world. But the metallic shades are like quality like these, just amazing. So the third question is the most versatile palette, and I have to give that one to the Lorac Pro Mega 2 palette, and that's because you get, ooh, can't open it. You get 16 matte and you get 16 metallic shimmer shades. So I'm like, okay, that's gotta be the most versatile palette. You get tons of mattes, tons of shimmers, so many different colors, blue, green, orange, yellow, gold, like creams, neutrals, purples. Like it's just an amazing palette. I love this so much. I was so excited I got it because I did not pick up the Mega Pro 1 from 2 years ago. So I was excited to get this one. The colors are just beautiful. If you love the original Lorac Pro palettes, you're gonna love this. It's exactly the same concept, just now everything's in one giant palette. So I love it. There's so many options with it, which is why it's definitely the most versatile palette in my opinion. So the fourth question is the best palette for traveling, and I have to give that one to the new little Stila Perfect Me Perfect Hue palette because you get 5 shadows in it, 2 blushes, 1 is a shimmer shade, 1's a pearl shade, and 3 are matte. So there's so many options you have with it. This one is in the shade light medium. This one is definitely my favorite shade out of the 3 that I reviewed, and I love this palette. Perfect for traveling. Like I know if I go somewhere for the weekend, this is definitely going to be my go-to palette just because it's got eyeshadows and blushes in it. Such a cool little palette, and it's little, and it tells you everything on the back. I just love it, and it's leopard. Okay? But the next one is my biggest regret, and I'd have to say my biggest regret is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, and that's literally only because there's another question like least used, but I have another palette that's even more least used than this one, so I'm gonna call this one the biggest regret just because I don't use it. I feel like I've got Morphe palettes that have these colors. I have, you know, like the Balm palette that has these colors, and so I just kind of honestly always forget about this palette even though it's beautiful and like they have some really pretty shimmery shades. I think I've only honestly used this palette once, so I regret it from the standpoint I just don't use it enough. So I need to start using it more. I mean, there's some shades in here I I haven't even touched. Like, I haven't touched Whiskey, which is this brown shade, so biggest regret just because I don't use it enough. So it's a pretty packaging and just it's good quality. I just need to use it more. So I'm gonna have to start pulling this out a lot more often. The next one is best color names, and oh my gosh, this one was so hard. I wanted to pick so many different palettes that have like cute names in it. Too Faced has cute ones, like in their Vegas Nay palette, the Stardust palette. Of course, all their chocolate bar palettes have cute names, and like, it was hard to pick. So I ended up picking the PB&J palette just because it smells good, and every name in here is just adorable. You've got Spread the Love, Bananas, Extra Creamy, Peanut Butter Cup, Peanut Brittle, Jam and Jelly, Nuts About You. Like, I just want to eat. When I see this palette and use it and smell it, I'm just like, I just want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a peanut butter banana sandwich. Like, it just so good, and the names are so cute, and like, I love every name in here. It's just adorable. So best names, in my opinion, goes to the PB&J palette from Too Faced. The next one is the least used palette. Like I was saying, I don't use that Urban Decay Naked Smoky Eye palette enough, but the one I definitely don't ever use anymore is the Tarte Be Magnificent Amazonian Colored Clay Matte Collector's palette. And I don't even remember how long ago this palette came out, like years and years and years ago. This is what it looks like. It's pretty much just like got matte shades, all matte shades with like a purple gray undertone. You have a blush, and then you have either two brow or two liners down here. You could kind of use them for whatever you want, or eyeshadows as well. But it's a pretty palette, and it's actually pretty decently pigmented. Like if I just put my finger in there, like there is what the purple shade looks like. It's not that bad. I just like never reach for it. I don't know why. Like, it's a beautiful palette, and I gravitate towards purples all the time. So I'm not sure why, but this palette just does not get used enough and does not get enough love. So the next question is the most used palette, and I would say as of right now, the most used palette that I've been using so much is the new Meet Matte Matrimony palette. I have been using this palette like crazy. I just have not been able to stop. It's all completely 9 matte eyeshadows, but I just love this palette. There's so many different things I can do, whether I'm using all this palette by itself or using something like the Natasha Genoa palette and then using colors within here. Like, I've just been using this palette like non-stop, like crazy. I really love matte shades, and they're so versatile and so many different things you can do. So definitely my most used palette for the longest time recently is the Meet Matte Matrimony palette by The Balm. And then the most loved and the most loved and the Desert Island palette I'm going to combine in one, because to me they're kind of going to be the same answer. And for me, that's actually all of them are kind of the most used, most loved, and Desert Island kind of are all the same. But I wanted to mention the Meet Matte Matrimony palette in there because I love it so much. I'm going to call that one the most used currently. And so the most loved and Desert Island palette is definitely my Lorac Pro Original palette. I love this palette so much and have used it so much over the years. Definitely a lot of them. I haven't hit pan. The one I'm closest to is light bronze right here. The rest of them have like very deep divots into like most of the pans. Like I use light bronze a lot, champagne, cream, light pink, mauve, sable, espresso, taupe, and nude the most, and pewter. But this is such a beautiful palette, so pretty. I love the neutral warm tones. It's a really pretty palette. It's definitely more warm tone if you compare it to the Lorac Pro 2 palette, which I also have, which is great, and definitely more cool tone. So this one is so beautiful. I love the cool tone as well, but this one definitely gets a little bit more love. So I hope you guys enjoyed going through this perfect palette tag with me. I would love to hear in the comment section down below what are your perfect palettes, and all these questions. Feel free to answer any of them. Feel free to tag people. Of course, if you're watching this video and want to do the tag, please do and let me know. I would love to watch it. So I can't wait to hear what some of your answers are and which ones are your perfect palettes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon.